Voyager 2 will pass within 4.3 light years of Sirius, the dog star, in approximately 196,000 years.
Adam, I'm having lunch. Speak English.
I'm sorry, see, the Star Tracker system is just
No.
telling them...
Lunchtime's for guy talk.
A woman moved into 3A.
All right. Now that's lunch talk.
From Fox Searchlight Pictures
About the Buckwell.
Adam.
comes a story about two strangers.
Can you see the sky from the third floor?
Yes, I would if the windows weren't covered in soot.
One a little stranger than the other.
Adam?
Y'all took like a, I feel like a big risk doing this because it's his first film. How far in the script were y'all reading when you're like, I gotta do this, this is great?
I wouldn't say for me there was one moment in the first reading that I felt that was more growing interest, and the moment in the script that kind of really struck home was about a third of the way in when Adam says that he has Asperger's syndrome. Not because I thought, oh wow, fantastic, that's exciting, there's really something to get into there, but because I thought that it was a very smart way to structure a script, that information hadn't been handed over for the first third of the movie, that therefore, you would be asked to be introduced to this character just as a person without a label, and that gave me real interest in the writing and the person who was going to make it. And then I met Max, and I would say it was in talking to him that I began to realize that he could back up what he'd written.
How much did you guys know about Asperger's syndrome prior to shooting? Did you know a little bit or zero?
For me, I knew nothing. I was.
Yeah. What about you?
I have a family friend who has Asperger's, so I knew. I did know a bit about it. Yeah, he's a teenage kid. Obviously different from Adam. In his 30s, but so a little bit. But I didn't go too overboard with my reading and research, just because Beth doesn't know that much, so
Yeah.
just to keep that.
Yeah, absolutely. In the film, like you have to do a lot of like emotionless and very emotional. What kind of research did you do to prepare for this role?
Plenty, because I had to understand as best I could the nature of the condition as a whole, and then begin to be specific about it so that I could consider who Adam was as a human being, so that those kind of either big bursts of emotion that he has, or the moments when he's much harder to read, were coming from a place of understanding in my part. So I didn't want to just be playing Adam as he would be perceived. It's easy just not to look at somebody and be distant or whatever, but I needed to have some appreciation of what was actually going on behind that. And that's the point of the film, in fact, is to slowly unpeel that and unravel it. So I had to work all of that out.
Did you meet with anybody that had Asperger's?
Yeah. Eventually, not immediately, because obviously there was quite a lot I wanted to figure out before I was going to sit down with them and kind of ask them the favour of sharing and opening up and sharing their lives with me. Well, I needed to do them. I wouldn't have felt right turning up without having done a lot of work before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly.
In the film, you're like a huge science buff. How hard was that to memorize the terminology and the telescopes and all of that?
There were bits and pieces that was all pretty tough. I mean, the stuff about the space when I show Rose I can't remember this word. This star. Planetarium. When he makes this little planetarium in his own apartment, because she's expressed a passing interest in it, and he gets so excited, so he builds this incredible kind of light show, and then almost blows it by just opening up this massive spiel about space, which slightly overwhelms her. And I did have to learn that in such a way that I could say it without even stopping, pausing the thought. That was tricky, but the hardest stuff was he has another little kind of monologue about the theatre that we go to with Beth's parents, and he has all this background knowledge, and that included dates and names.
Yeah. How many takes to that?
No, not too many. I mean, it was quite. That one was probably the most stop-start. I would get halfway through and just blow it, and you know, you want to be able to do it in one. I'm not sure which takes Max used, but for your own sense of having done it right, you want to be able to just do it in one go. And I think it took a few together.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible.
No, we didn't have much time either. We had like 5 minutes. You know, we did it in 25 days the entire time.
Okay.
It was, you know, fast and furious.
24 of those days without scene.
The movie was great, and it was very. I felt like it was very heartfelt and honest, and you know, there's lots of comedic elements and drama and romance about a serious topic. Almost like it's like genre-less. I mean, 'cause some could classify it as like a romantic comedy, but I think it's way more than that. What do you guys feel as far as like a genre, and like what would you classify it?
There's conventions of a romantic comedy, of course, but it's more of a character piece, I suppose. But I guess you want to sell it as something more accessible than that too. It's by no means, I don't know,
I think that's
daunting
right.
or something, because it's not. It's actually a really lovely.
It's all of
It's
those.
all those things.
It's all those things.
So much love.
Charming piece, but not anyway. So it's a difficult one to just pitch in one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think people are so used now as well to romantic comedies, you know, but writ large, the big juggernaut romantic comedies, and so we're taking this and saying, well, if you like it as a romantic comedy, if you want to think of it as that, and take it and see, you know, and just try digesting it like this for a change,
Yeah.
and see the romance and the comedy, but in a story which is a little different and which I hope has a believability to it as well.
Had a lot of things to say.
I have something to show you. Come in, come in.
On my way.
Oh my!
Were you excited?
What?
Sexually? Because I was.
Thank you. I should be going now.
Because I said that thing about being sexually excited?
No. Well, yeah.
I have this thing that's called Asperger's syndrome.
Oh.
Albert Einstein, Thomas Jefferson, Mozart.
They had Asperger's?
Probably.
Baby, remember on the bus and my hand.
Gotta meet the baby. Yeah. Would you like to see the video?
No, thank you.
About Adam, he's not for you.
It's impossible.
It's not rocket science.
Do you know what you want?
He's really sweet and interesting.
When you love somebody, it's hard to think about anything but to breathe.
He lives in another world. You don't need to make that kind of compromise.
No, you don't make my decisions.
Hard to figure out.
I can see that you're upset, but I don't know what to do.
Could you give me a hug?
Yes?
Adam, I'd like you to give me a hug.
When you love somebody, it's hard to think about anything but to breathe.
Some chocolate.
I'm not Forrest Gump, you know.